Blessings Booktube. It's Tag Tuesday. I have a pretty fast one for you. 5 prompts. It's the kind of tag I like. Real original premise where each of the questions spins off from that premise. In this case, Cinderella. And this is thanks to Heather Reeds for tagging me. She is the co-creator of it with Meg from Books Off the Beaten Path. The first question is the Pumpkin Coach. Is there a bookish event or bookish location you've not been able to get to at all or as much as you'd like to? Well, I dream of living in Hay on Wye, but Heather has me wondering now if it's not, if it hasn't jumped the shark. I know how these kind of cultural things can blow up, like Burning Man used to be this nice little hippie party festival, and then it's turned into this major money thing. Huge crowd. So I guess what I'd like to do is go to one of these countries that has a book day, like a big holiday for books. And I think Iceland has one, or one of the Nordic countries. I think more than one country has this. Every country should have it, of course. Great holiday. So I'd like to see how that holiday is celebrated somewhere. That would be nice. The second is the mice. So the mice turn to horses, right? So this is to name 3 books that are small fry in the book world, but mean a lot to you. Or name an author does not get the publicity they deserve and transform their reputation on Booktube. I'm not in a position in my obsolescence here to be able to launch anybody's reputation. However, I'll give a tiny boost to a somewhat forgotten author. This John Nichols. He wrote the Milagro Beanfield War. That one was made into a movie. So he's not totally obscure. I don't know when that would have been, the 70s or 80s, early 80s. Yeah, early 80s, I think. And then I thought I would go with a trilogy. So John Nichols is one that came to mind. I've been thinking a lot lately about doing another tier list video for y'all. I was thinking of doing one on New Mexico writers. I've read a lot of them. And so I thought of John Nichols. Now, the second in the trilogy is called, pull that up for you here, The Magic Journey. I can't 100% for sure remember that I did read that one. But I definitely read the third one, which is the Nirvana Blues. So with the first and the third being great, I feel very confident recommending this trilogy to you. John Nichols' New Mexico trilogy, Milagro Beanfield Wars, Magic Journey, and Nirvana Blues. Very much about place, about character, about the important things in life. Funny, moving, interesting, not dull. All right, check it out. So that is, what would that be? The Mice Turn to Horses. Third is The Glass Slipper. Now, this is the name of a book that I loved or gave away, but lost or gave away or left behind. And now I feel I need to replace. Well, I don't need to replace it because it's still in my mom's closet. I've got a dozen books maybe stored there. And they're like books that I've written in. So I've got one is on being a stand-up comic, which I had just begun working on, and that was a lot of fun, a big workbook. And the other was from Dungeons and Dragons. It's like little prompts, and then there'll be a blank page, and then you write a story about that prompt on that page. I've done half a dozen of those and found them really fun. So I would love to have those 2 books, if it weren't prohibitively expensive to mail them from the States here. I would have those sent for. So those would be my Glass Slippers. Now, The Ball Gown. This is a book that I have not read, but what I heard about it makes me think it'll fit me perfectly. I've thought about this, and I'm not sure I can think of many pending book recommendations that I need to go and read that people have recommended to me, let alone that I feel fit me perfectly. I will tell you one time someone nailed it for me. I think that really recommending books for people is a mugs game. It's so personal. I rarely nail it, I think, in terms of recommending books for people, unless it's like a poetic person who wants to enter prose land. Um, and then I recommend the Khalil Gibran's The Prophet, and they usually love it. But it's so specific. And I can think of books that people have recommended to me that I did not care for. But the one that I loved was East of Eden, and not only that, but it was very much a me book, very appropriate to me. Of course, huge, the important book for America. I'm at East of Eden, Camp East of Eden. No offense to Grapes of Wrath, also great, but East of Eden I think is one of the best American novels. Twain's hard to beat. The best of our Nobels, I would say. Wow, we got Saul Bellow. But anyway, a great American novel, very important novel, should definitely be read, studied. East of Eden by Steinbeck. That was a good one that nailed me in terms of recommendations. But can't think of any that are pending. If I do later on, I will tell you down in the notes. Okay, 5 is the Fairy Godmother. So my Bookish Fairy Godmother is prepared to give me 3 books, and they'll appear in front of me right now. These could be existing books you wish someone would write. What would you ask for? I'm going to do a trilogy, but before I do, if I were going to go one by one, I would go first. Of course, we should all, of course, ask for another, Shakespeare play, right? That's probably pretty obvious. Second, if I could make it nonfiction, make sure they were not allowed to lie, and I would make a true autobiography be written by Trump. But barring that, of course, can't do that. I'll go with this other trilogy from not so much New Mexico, but Southwest, is Barbara Kingsolver, who's become quite popular. Neiman Copperfield, Lacuna, Poisonwood Bible is an amazing one about Africa, her growing up in Africa. But she began with these Southwest books, again with the bean theme. The first is, let me open those up. First is The Bean Trees. So this is Greer Family number 1. And then we've also got Pigs in Heaven, which is Greer Family number 2. Both great books. But Animal Dreams, also amazing, which was written in between, actually is not of that trilogy, I came to realize today. Therefore, what I would request for my third book is that Barbara Kingsolver write a third book of the Greer Family saga to make it a trilogy. Right. So that is it. Now we need to tag some people, which I will do down in the notes. Thank you for listening, and thank you, Heather, for tagging me. And we'll see you next Tag Tuesday.